Hi, I'm Katie Rose of Attached Families. I haven't done a video in quite some time because honestly, I think my brain just got freaked out by all of the different suggestions I was being given on what to say and how to do it and where to do it. And so it kind of jumbled up my brain and it just didn't feel real anymore. And honestly, I'm not looking to be a superstar, but it's just not who I am. I can't be that person. All I can be is me, because that's how I've always been. I'm real and to the point. I rarely mince words, and I'm just a woman who always wanted to foster and adopt children. It's been what I wanted my whole life, ever since I was a little girl. And I usually do what I set out to do, so that's what I did. I fostered and I adopted two amazing boys. Two amazing boys that struggle so seriously with their early childhood trauma, almost a decade of it. Two boys with reactive attachment disorder. There are thousands of us out there. We work hard every single day. We fight for our children every single day. And we're not just fighting the mental health care system. We're fighting DCS. We're fighting the schools. We're fighting the police. I never in my life thought that I would be someone who said we're fighting the police. I love the police. I'm a huge supporter of the police. It's not their fault. It's no one's fault. It's not the police's fault. It's not administration at school's fault. It's not educators' fault. It's not our friends and family's fault. It's no one's fault that they have no idea about what it is like to live with a child of trauma, to live with a child who has attachment disorders, to live with a child that it's so severe that it's considered reactive attachment disorder. They are uneducated, they are ignorant. Their first instinct is to blame the parents and parenting. And to tell you the truth, I have to own it. I would have blamed the parents and parenting too. Before I lived this life, I would have been you. I would have blamed me. I would be the person going, get your child under control. Why aren't you disciplining your child? Why are you so strict with your child? Why are you on top of your child's every move? Why can't your child have that ice cream? Why are you telling your child they have to stay by your side? Why can't they go and play with the other children? Why do you single your child out and separate him or her? I would have judged me. There, I said it. So you're off the hook, society. You're not responsible for your own ignorance. The only time you become responsible, police officers, administrators of schools, teachers, anyone in any type of education forum, society, friends, family, mental health system, doctors, therapists, DCS, judges. The only time you are responsible is when you do not educate yourself. And if you refuse to educate yourself after you have been told what the child is truly like, after you have been told that the child has a diagnosis and that this is how you have to parent them, that is when you become wrong. That is when you become completely ignorant. That is when we trauma mamas and trauma papas and trauma caregivers, that's when we call you fools. When we put the information right in front of you and you still refuse to read it. We need so much change. It's no secret that things are spiraling out of control. School systems spiraling out of control. Teachers quitting after 1 year. And I don't blame them. Who wants a chair thrown at them? That's not what they signed up for. It's not what they get paid $18,000 a year to start for. It's all because the higher-ups refuse to bring in the trauma-informed training for everyone. Police officers need it. Administrators at school need it. Teachers need it. Society needs it. DCS certainly needs it. Therapists certainly need it. They are not even trained in college. I think they got a paragraph on what trauma is. They have no idea how to deal with it. It can't be treated by talk therapy. And the fact that they keep trying to do so is sickening. I'm going to say one more thing. It cannot be a proper diagnosis if the caregiver is not there with the psychiatrist giving the diagnosis. You cannot diagnose a child with anything if the caregiver is not there in the room telling you what's happening in the home. So I want to tell you something that's happening in our country today. Parents are adopting children who have severe trauma. Some parents, I think it's 2% of the population, have children who are biologically theirs that have suffered some sort of trauma, either in utero or after birth, that they're raising a biological child who has trauma. But the greatest percentage is those that adopted from foster care or adopted from overseas orphanages. So with that being said, the parent calls everyone they can, begs for help and treatment, takes the child to every possible doctor they can, and cries almost every night thinking they're a failure. Yes, hello, evening. Everyone say hello to evening. So they get the diagnosis. Now they know what's wrong. Now they know, hi Roro. Now they know how to parent. And you can sit here too, Ro. Eve, stop. Now they know how to parent. So now they're parenting that child the way they need to parent a child of trauma, the way they need to parent a child of RAD. And a false accusation is made by a child from RAD because they lie and they thrive on chaos. It's just the truth. It happens. Or a retaliatory accusation is made from someone trying to get back at the parent. It happens every day. 2 retaliatory accusations were made against me, myself. Both unfounded, of course. But some parents are not as lucky as me, and they decide that what the parent has done to actually keep everybody safe when they're getting no help to keep everybody safe, DCS comes in and they take their children away. And then they say that child doesn't have trauma or reactive attachment disorder. And then they take them to one of their counselors, and the counselor sits with them by themselves for 45 minutes and takes away the diagnosis of reactive attachment disorder. And then DCS goes to court and says, look, this counselor says these parents are crazy, that this child doesn't have reactive attachment disorder. And then the judge will only allow that information in and won't allow the years and years of documentation and diagnoses from other doctors that were gotten the proper way Because again, like I started this video, you cannot diagnose a child if the caregiver is not in the room. So, we have several problems there. DCS should know better. Number one, they know a child can't be diagnosed if the parent's not in the room. They do that simply so that they can get the diagnosis removed because it's easier to place a child if they don't have that diagnosis. And two, the court system. Somewhere along the line, judges in family court stopped caring about true justice, facts, and evidence. And they were trained to just go with whatever DCS recommended because, hey, they're the experts, right? They're not. They're not. They're people who graduated from school with a social work degree, who have no experience with trauma, no experience with RAD, never raised a child like this. And their duty is to get the child placed somewhere, and they can't do that if they have this diagnosis. So they're no expert. They're simply a person trying to do their job, and the only way they can do their job is to lie. There, I said it. They lie. They lie all the time. They have people that work for them that lie for them. They have inexperienced counselors that are willing to just give the child whatever diagnosis DCS wants them to have. They lie to the new prospective foster parents they're going to place their child with, putting that whole family in danger because that child may have serious, dangerous, aggressive behaviors, or putting that child in danger because that child may have serious self-harming behaviors. And DCS just wiped out that history, just wiped out those facts, and placed that child with an unsuspecting family. And our parents are being indicted, going to jail, facing life sentences, all because everybody wants to ignore that trauma in early childhood is real. Research ACEs. Do your own ACE test on yourself. See what number you have for trauma. And then tell your friend to. And then tell your friend to tell someone. Tell everyone. Trauma is real. Attachment disorders are real. Reactive attachment disorders are real. And the person that gets blamed the most is the female caregiver. So stop being ignorant. Stop judging so much. Take a moment to think, maybe I don't know everything. And if it's your daughter, your sister, your cousin, your best friend, don't judge them. Don't correct their parenting. Don't override them. Listen, research, and then when you've done your research, actually follow what you've learned. Because I know tons of people who have researched, but then they still can't help themselves. They can't stop the judgment. They can't stop the parent correcting, the parent shaming. It has to stop. This is not our fault. All we did was open our home to children that needed a place to live and to be loved and to feel safe and to heal from the trauma that they experienced before they came into our home. Stop making us the villains. All we are moms, and we love our kids. So, happy Independence Day. Open a book, Google it, do some research, follow attached families. There's a wealth of information on our public page. Donate some money to our cause. Not afraid to ask for it. We need money. We need money so that we can continue to advocate for our families and for these children to get the proper treatment now. Attached families wants proper treatment now and support for the families raising these children from trauma. Happy 4th of July, everybody.